So recording for the YouTube crowd. Alright. So a bit of a spice one on stream today. We're going to play some Dimir Shadow Rogues. It's a deck that we played a decent bit before Modern Horizons 2 dropped. Had some pretty good results with it. Haven't played it since MH2. So kind of interested to see how it does now with the introduction of cards like Counterspell and Seal of Removal into the format. Most of the core of the deck is pretty straightforward, almost like a blue-black based Death Shadow deck with 4 Thoughtseize, 2 Inquisition, 3 Fatal Push, 4 Shadow, 4 Scourge of the Skyclaves, and then it starts to derail itself a little bit. We've got 4 copies of Thieves Guild Enforcer, fantastic little rogue from M21, a 1-mana 1/1 with flash when it enters the battlefield, or another rogue enters the battlefield. Each opponent exiles 2 cards, or mills 2 cards, not exiles. And then as long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, it gets +2/+1 and has Death Touch. So it can be a 1-mana 3/1 flash with Death Touch. And then Soaring Thought Thief. Another rogue from Zendikar Rising. Blue and a black for 1/3 with flash as well. Whenever it or another rogue attacks, each opponent mills 2 cards. So kind of like Thieves Guild Enforcer, just instead of ETB, it's rogues attacking. And then if an opponent has 8 or more cards in your library, he becomes a power-sided rogue lord. No toughness boost, but buffs the power. So these 2 rogues work really well together to kind of buff each other up, keep attacking, flash in, so you don't have to invest a bunch of mana on your main step, or main phase. And the rest of the supporting cast is like 4 copies of Drown in the Loch, because they're fantastic with milling your opponent with your creatures entering and attacking. 2 copies of Counterspell, 2 copies of Seal of Removal, 1 copy of Snapcaster Mage, Dark Confidant for a little extra card draw, 1 Unearth, great for getting back some of your early rogues to keep the pressure on, great with Snapcaster late game. And then Luris is our companion that can loop things like Seal of Removal, Mishra's Bauble, loop our rogues. In the sideboard, we've got 2 copies of Engineered Explosives for the Go Wide decks, 1 Bitter Blossom, conveniently makes rogues. Really great in like the mid-range matchups, the control matchups. Guy, thank you so much for the resub. 12 months, the subiversary. Death Shadow, I thought you were an elemental streamer. Only on days that end in Y. 3 copies of Nihil Spellbomb for Grave Hate. Grave Hate's a little awkward with our milling theme. But sometimes you do need to nuke your opponent's graveyard, and you're not in too much of fear of not refilling it later. The 4th copy of Fatal Push for the aggressive creature matchups. 3 copies of Void Mirror for everything from Cascade to Tron. 2 Mystical Dispute for the blue mirrors, and 2 Fluster Storm for things like the Cascade Rhino decks, as well as other instant sorcery based interactive decks. Last thought, any chance you suppose to surgical off a Lucky Mill? I don't think so. I think that's still just not worth it. Are we supposed to play anything that kills Murktide? We've got Counterspell and a Prayer. Counterspell, Seal of Removal gets rid of Murktide. Nihil Spellbombs out of the board, get rid of Murktide. Thoughtseize from the hand. Yeah, we also got a spicy little Agadeem's Awakening here as our extra land and the ability to potentially rebuy some creatures. So let's jump into our league. See what happens. We do have some ways to interact with Murktide, but it also seems like Murktide's been on the decline recently. Like, I geared heavy for it in the last challenge and never saw it. say that, and we're about to get paired against Murktide. So we've got a Bauble, a Thought Thief on 2, or a counterspell, so pretty easy keep. And opponent molds to 6. At least 6. See what they got going on. Vindicate. Go ahead and bobble on our turn in case we draw into like a fatal push or something there. So I'm assuming just some sort of generic black-white mid-range deck. Like to flash in this Thought Thief end of turn, but opponent gives something that we just can't help but counterspell. We can do that. Priest of Fellright. So I think I'm gonna counterspell this. Soaring Thought Thief's looking a little bit awkward if this is Reanimator. Chris. Hey man, how's the Rogues list been? Well, it's literally turn 3 of game 1 of match 1, so I don't have a good answer yet. I haven't played Rogues since before Modern Horizons 2 dropped, so who knows? Refaction. You have the Ephemerate too. Yep. Take my Soaring Thought Thief. So I can play out a Scourge and 2 for 1 myself to get to fatal push this Grief. Unfortunately, I think it's probably worth it because I get this off the board. So you can't just Ephemerate, because like he Ephemerates next turn, he takes something else anyway. Get super punished if he had like a Malakir Rebirth, but he's got that too. I'm probably in some trouble regardless. Okay. How'd the 4-color deck go yesterday? It was pretty rough. Could have been a lot better. Alright, so that'll let us play out a shadow. I know they've got to Vindicate, yeah. So, do I want to just take Brutality as like the cleanest answer to one of my threats? Like, Brutality can also take my Agadeem. Like, my fear is if I take, say, Damn, and I play out the Shadow, they can Brutality, escalate, kill my Shadow, and take my Agadeem's Awakening. So I think I'd take the Brutality and try to see if I can get them to use a different spell on Shadow. Like, if they Damn this, and I get to untap, find a land, and Awakening back, like, Shadow plus Thought Thief. That's a bit better for me. I'd rather find a couple lands and get, like, Luris, Thought Thief, Shadow. I also need to do something with this Awakening before they get to unearth the Priest. If they unearth the Priest, they can just get back Grief and take Awakening anyway. Like them to use the Damn on the Shadow. Ugh. Alright. Alright. Annoying, but at the same time, they either get to enable the Scourge or leave me with the Awakening. Here's the Damn. 8. Playing 1 mana 1/1 all day. What you gotta do sometimes. They can unearth the Priest, or just hard cast a Batterskull. Ooh. Okay. Do this, we can get a hit in, make them invest a whole bunch more mana on Batterskull. We got a big bear. Yeah! Grizzly bears for the win. Alright. All the Reanimator aspect of their deck. Bitter Blossom's really good here. Maybe Fatal Push. Wanting to take out. Pretty heavy in Hand Disruption Mirror. I don't think I want the extra Fatal Push. Maybe I don't want all 3 Spell Bombs. Like, Inquisition's a whole lot better on the play than it is on the draw. To, like, mess up Ephemerate shenanigans. How much do I want to focus on the play versus draw? And a bunch of scourges. Cluster Storm. Cluster Storm's an option, but like, do I want that? I guess it's just like better than Inquisition. I'd buy that. All right. Got spells and things. Opponent, please don't turn one grief ephemerate me. They mold to at least 6. One of my goals for this league is I kind of want to get an idea of whether or not we need to be splashing another color in this deck. Like, is it fine as it is, or do I need to, like, add black or not, like, add red or green or something? Alright, that's an ephemerate. An unmarked grave. I can't ephemerate a grief here. This hand's coming together much better than our first hand did. Spell bomb. Here you go. Yeah! The old turn 2 rogues kill. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with canola oil. Alright, where did I put rogues on here? Oops. I didn't think I put them. Did put them all the way over there. Alright. Alright. Reanimator. He went against salad deck. Oh, is it a salad deck? Spellbomb 1 mana win the game. Well, I just get to sit there, like, either they play into Spellbomb, like they play Reanimate spell, I Spellbomb them, and they don't have anything, or they don't play the Reanimate spell, and I'm just gonna hit them for 6 every turn. Potentially 8, because I had the Soaring Thought Thief next turn. Solid salad deck. Where are we getting the salad deck part from? Like, what makes it a salad deck? Does it look like it's good with a side of blue cheese? A little bit of Thousand Island. salad have a different meaning elsewhere. La Rouge MTG. Alright. And disruption, a couple flash threats. Carry on. Saga. Affinity. Give me that there frog might. Okay, opponent. It's a good draw. So, is there any benefit? Ornithopter off the top I don't care about. So I think I'm just thought seizing here. Just to like make sure I can take whatever it is. Unless it's like an artifact land, but if it was a tapped artifact land, yeah, they would have played it last turn. Because they just didn't need to have the Urza Saga. Alright, so the bright side is they're not going to be able to make a construct off this. Okay, this is real Affinity. Like, we got rewarded heavily for Inquisition, or for thought seizing instead of Inquisitioning. They might be trying to figure out if I'm a shadow deck. Like their math has led them to the correct conclusion. What do they get off Saga here? Your name has led them to that conclusion. What? That I'm on Shadow? This control freak giveaway Death Shadow? I think I'm supposed to fetch before they do this, just in case of Pithing Needle. I don't really want to, like, not be able to play Soaring Thought Thief this turn because of a cheese Pithing Needle. Can't get Cranial Plating off of Urza's Saga. 2-drop. But I would expect, like, Shadow Spear. If they just want extra mana, maybe they get a Springleaf Drum. Rolling Jar is fine. All that glitters. Oof. Alright. So I flash in Thought Thief. let's say I block a Memnite. What are my options here? Block a Memnite, I'm taking 10. I think that's fine, because I can go down to 2. Have another Thought Thief and a Shadow. Yeah. And if they Welding Jar, I'm taking less. Okay. Now, am I hacking or... If I'm attacking, then I know I'm playing the other Soaring Thought Thief as a chump blocker. I have to go down to 2. Like, I've got 2 blocks on this Ornithopter, and I need to get them dead. Slow. Alright, well, I know I'm playing out the Shadow. I don't think I'm gonna... Or I am. I'm playing the second Thought Thief this turn to be more mana efficient. Your Vault. Any reason for Island or Swamp over the other? I guess Island because I've got counterspell. Block. Right. No, we're attacking him with Shadow. I'm gonna bobble myself to see if I can Inquisition or not. Round. But I don't want to Inquisition. Right. Is fine. Glitters on that. This is fine. Yeah, so now if they attack, I get to flash in the Thieves Guild Enforcer. Block, block. And if they don't attack with both, I can Drown in the Loch one. Alright, so let's say I Drown in the Loch the Ornithopter, a Welding Jar. Or I want to Drown in the Loch the Memnite. So if they Welding Jar it, I get to attack with a Shadow. They have to block with the Ornithopter. I get the Flyer off the board. Because if they Welding Jar this, they have to tap it to regenerate it, so it's not blocking. They have to block with the Flyer. I get to add Luris to my hand. Let's find out if they're drawing another land or not. Thought cap. They won't be able to cast that after they get rid of Welding Jar here. Attacking with both of these is free because they have to block the Shadow, use the Welding Jar. Means Thieves Guild gets in. Alright, I guess I shouldn't have attacked with the Thieves Guild Enforcer because I knew they were drawing a dead card off the top. And I think I would rather give them the dead card than a potential draw it a live one. Yeah, so that was wrong. That was wrong. Because it would have been they untap, they draw, they get thought cast. They can't do anything with it. And they're attacking, or they can't attack with the Ornithopter because they're just dead on the crackback. They have to chump block the Shadow the next turn. And I've got Luris bobbling again to decide if I want to attack with the Thieves Guild Enforcer. So I can just like sit there with Bobble and Enforcer and manipulate the top of their library. So EE I want, push I want. So I want Bitter Blossom. Because I can just infinitely chump like an Ornithopter. That seems pretty good. Mystical Dispute doesn't seem bad because it counters Thought Cast. It counters Thought Monitor. Like, does it just counter all of their good payoffs? Need to find like a Affinity list. Thought Monitor, Thought Cast. If they're running Neo form, it counters that. Is that worth it? I feel like that is worth it. We'll put it in like the maybe pile. They're not really killing my guys. Counterspell's a little slow. Not dealing damage to themselves. What are my biggest concerns? Like, Etch Champion's a big concern. Maybe I need to keep in the counterspells for Champion. Something like that. Bob a little slow to get rolling. Yeah, especially on the draw. On the play, maybe I keep it in, but... That was a pretty good game one to win, though. To take a payoff turn one. If they have a good turn one, maybe they hit us turn two and we get to double shadow. Keeping. Brisket box being a pain. Guild Enforcer is a good top deck. I'm just gonna bobble them. Try to get some more information. Do I want to just Thieves Guild Enforcer to mill over cranial plating? That... Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Because this might set me up for, like, being able to drown in the lock a, Etch Champion as well. You're just housing Triscuits like a savage, or do you make yourself a little cheese plate, maybe some meats and some pickles? Not the pickles part, but I'll absolutely do like Triscuits with some sliced deli cheese, some summer sausage. So hitting Darksteel Citadel is really good if I'm afraid of Etch Champion. You always get this fun little combo of like Seal of Removal to bounce something into Thoughtseize to maybe take it. Heck yeah, love me some Triscuit-based snack platters. Exactly. They're the greatest. It does not take our bait. Your hand is yucky. So this Thought Cast. The Treasure Vault's an artifact land. I can cast Thought Cast next turn. Hmm. How far off are they from Thought Monitor? Let's say I take Frogmite. They can Thought Cast for 2. No, I just have to take one of these Thought Cast effects. I could take Monitor, but I think I want to take Thought Cast because they're not casting the Monitor next turn. And so that gives me like one more draw step to maybe just find another fetch land, get a bunch of shadows out. Like they have to pay 1 for Frogmite here, and then they can't pay 3 for Thought Monitor. Alright, scratch that. Now they can play a Thought Monitor. Top decks are good. Top decks are very good. Alright. You. Bliss will probably like the new Infernal Grasp quite a bit. Dealing with big chunguses seems hard in Dimir. I mean, you could always run like Doomblade or go for the throat or something if you just wanted to kill big things. I wouldn't say it's the toughest thing in the world to do. This. I don't want a seal of removal of Thought Monitor. So I can block a Frogmite, bounce a Frogmite, take 6, go to 7, untap with double shadow. Do a lot sooner. At least game 3 we get to go back on the play. Without something like Battle Rage in the deck, we don't have a lot of opportunities to just kill our opponent. Snap, go to attacks. Represent Temur Battle Rage. This is like that opportunity where opponents usually don't want to get cheesed out by a battle rage. So they're willing to throw a little bit in front of your guys. I don't know why you would block with just the construct over here. And like not anything extra on this shadow. I know I can't fetch and shock for battle rage, but I could somehow battle rage. Be dead for not blocking more over here. Alright. The Mystical Dispute does look a lot better, especially now that we see Emery. But I'm going to see what they tutor and then we can concede. Because if they just get Welding Jar again, I'm going to assume they don't have anything. You know what would be nuts right here would be Hurkyl's Recall. Another Springleaf Drum. Yeah, like if I saw more Affinity decks, I'd probably play Recall. Some number. On the play, I like Confidant more. Really considering this Bitter Blossom idea. I want some number of Scourges back in. Keep a Confidant, take out an Inquisition. This Inquisition can't hit Thought Monitor or a Thought Cast anyway. All right. Do have the Etched Champion. Don't currently have blue mana. Let's say I take the Etched Champion. Their turn 1 is like Citadel, Memnite. My turn 2 is Hold Up, Drown, Flash in, Thieves Guild. Turn 3, Snap Thoughtseize the Thoughtcast. So what I don't want to see here is a tapped blue artifact land. Wonder why they're not playing out the Memnite. It's pretty nice that they don't get to make a construct off of this saga. Why they lead on saga? I don't know. I feel like if they just led Citadel, Memnite, turn 2 saga, turn 3 like second Citadel, make a construct, I feel like there's no way we win from that position. Definitely gonna snap Thoughtseize the Thoughtcast. Like maybe they were getting Saga turn 1 to try to aggressively get Springleaf Drum going. Triple Darksteel Citadel. Okay. That's my guess, is just that they wanted to get this one through quickly to get Springleaf Drum so they could get blue mana, and then they drew the Razortide Bridge. Because the bridge would have been like perfect turn 1 play. That would have been bridge on 1, and then like Citadel on 2, Memnite Thoughtcast. We could get a welding jar here. Ginger. Okay. All the glitters. So, what's my plan here? I want to save Seal for a construct. I could... I think I attack, and if they block... Or do I not attack and just say seal, add Luris to hand. And I can just start like seal of removaling all of the construct tokens. So this has to fetch and shock if I do that. Let's attack with Snapcaster, see if they're willing to just trade off this Memnite. I think I like that. I think I like Seal of Removal, add Luris here. I can bounce the Ginger Brute, and if they don't replay it, they can't. Or if they replay it, they can't make a construct. Last two cards are two more Citadels. Then next turn, I get to start holding up like Seal of Removal, play Scourge. Am I attacking with Snapcaster? Yes. Because if they're planning on constructing, I'm planning on sealing it anyway. So if they do that on my turn, that's fine. And I've got to seal in response to Urza's Saga in case they get a Pithing Needle. I don't want them to needle my seal. Or has it already gone off? Are they holding priority? Because I don't think I've gotten a priority opportunity yet. Unless I just completely clicked through it. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Maybe they don't have Pithing Needle. Bounce the construct. I would very much appreciate it if you don't have Pithing Needle. Mishra's Ball. Alright. Deal with that. Got Citadel Unknown. Just Citadel. What we would call a good one. So attack with Luris is pretty free here. Because if they go like any kind of multiple blocks, I can blow out everything but one blocker. I like gaining a little bit of this life back. Bounce it. So I've got Snapcaster that can block the construct. And then I can replace Snap and removal spell with Luris. I've got removal spell for the Ginger Brute.
I had this dream a while ago. I was driving around town, doing a lot of usual stuff, but there was a
Carbonite's fine.
tall wooden legs that appeared from time to time to say,
Springleaf Drum's fine.
I know you can do it. You have my trust. When I was little, I had a tree outside my bedroom window, and the moonlight spread its shadow across my ceiling.
Steel plating is less fun.
In my groggy state, it looked like spider webs.
I'm just letting them have this because I'm planning on killing everything anyway. Like, they strap up a Ginger Brute and attack. I get to kill it, untap, and I've got like removal spell plus seal for anything else. I just... yeah, I'll let them have this.
Everything's gonna be okay.
They can't equip and hold up, equip and make it unblockable except for everything with haste and hold up like reattaching it. Block here. Doesn't have tramp, does it? Here.
But that doesn't mean that you should stop dreaming. The feeling I get from this is waking up in the middle of the night.
Down here.
Nightmare that you thought was real, but really isn't. These dreams are weird. You pick up your phone and no one is there. And for a while I was really scared of them. Like, it's definitely something that doesn't happen every day. But once I knew what was
Pretty sure
Sense, and I became okay with it.
opponent is in the dead territory. Yeah, because I can just like snap, drown, or just seal, bounce the Frogmite, get an attack for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright, 2-0. The little rogues that could. And seems fine. One lander, but we got a bobble. Got some good interaction. Alright. Little Yawmoth. So I'm gonna Inquisition. If I see a land, I would keep it. Because I don't see a land, I'm just gonna Inquisition here. Arbor. So do I want to take the wolf, push the arbor? I like that. Your rogue's broken in modern. Wouldn't say broken just yet. Like wolves fringe playable. I just found out recently that apparently there's a ruling with Dryad Arbor that if you're playing it, you have to play it up front with your creatures. Like, you can't play it with your lands. You're not allowed to anymore. I thought that was pretty funny. I know they had the whole fiasco before with, like, Dryad Arbor. It was somebody against Gabe Nassif. And they had Dryad Arbor back with all their lands. And he, like, went for an attack. I think it was against Bogles. He went for an attack, and they just, like, put up this Dryad Arbor and blocked with it real quick. And he just had no idea. Because it was this art instead of the Future Sight one. Like, what? I could trade a Thieves Guild Enforcer for the front half of a Young Wolf. Seems less than exciting. So, I could Vault Thief. Fine. Triggers Thieves Guild on when it enters, and then Thieves Guild triggers Thought Thief when it attacks. Comes a 4/2. I'm just gonna put like bunch of pressure on him this next turn. He can evolution the Young Wolf for Giralf's Messenger. Looks like the play here. So our best draw would be Drown in the Lock. Is it worth it to swap Thought Thief here? Yeah, because it means he can only loop Messenger or loop Yawmoth 3 times. Like, I don't think he can Yawmoth and get enough sack triggers. Like, he could kill one Thought Thief, but he can't kill a Thought Thief and drain me for enough to present lethal. So both of his guys would, like, loot or lose us. They'd have summoning sick if he just sacks them back and forth. So I don't think he can trigger Yawmoth enough, or I know he can't trigger Yawmoth enough to kill a Soaring Thought Thief and present lethal. If I kill the Young Wolf, yeah, he's got the canopy too, you're right. So definitely can't loop enough. I've got pushes, I've got spell bombs. About all I'd be interested in this match. Things I don't want. Earth probably doesn't matter. Let's see. Got an unearth. I could trim on a Thieves Guild Enforcer because they're just like gumming up the ground pretty well. Confidant's a bit of a liability. Agony. This. Push plus a drown. Threats. It's good. See if I can play around Veil of Summer. The most annoying thing possible out of this deck is being able to turn 2, play a Wall of Roots, and then immediately Veil of Summer if you go to kill it. Or like if you're tapped out, they can Wall of Roots, play a Young Wolf, pass the turn, you go to Fatal Push on your turn, and they get to Veil. Getting to dodge that is extremely nice. Plan on Thought Thiefing here. Wolf's Messenger. Hey. Here's a couple of shadows. Please don't blood artist me, bro. For the astute viewers in the audience, no, you cannot double block a Drolf's Messenger, then have its trigger go on the stack after it comes back off undying and keep your shadows alive. But I like the way you think. The deck's still good? No idea. We're like third game in. Prosperous Innkeeper. You can mill over a Yawmoth here, which is pretty nice. And a Grist. Alright. So we're hanging on to this Drown in the Loch this turn, pretty heavy. 2-0 sounds good. What were the matchups? We played against Affinity round 2 and what was round 1? Round 1 was Black-White Grief Blade. Yawmoth. Here's our answer. Touchland. All right, I'm gonna keep cruising over the top of this Thought Thief. Hold up, counterspell. Goodbye, Yawmoth, indeed. Geist is fine. Basically, if it doesn't say Yawmoth, I don't really care about it.
Remember all the happy times we had?
This Innkeeper can combo. Maybe I just want to take out it. I'll take out the bird.
Very much alike.
Yeah. Feels like they need the mana. Alright.
Remember all the happy times we had?
Would love to find another land so that I can, like, block, hold up spell bomb activation plus counter spell.
Very much alike.
Wouldn't mind a couple lands off the top. But, like, the best part here is they just don't have good attacks. It feels like they've got another Yawmoth stranded in hand. It might be like a Yawmoth and a Geralf's Messenger. They have a Court of Calling. Up decay my Thought Thief. Got it. So I could I could Shadow plus Spell Bomb and just say, like, if you don't have Yawmoth this turn, then I'm going to have a lot of really good draws. But I don't think I need to. I think I'm, like, content just holding up these two shadows. Like I said, it just feels like they have another Yawmoth. Evolution for a Yawmoth. And they can't Veil of Summer here, which is pretty funny. Back in. No attack. Right. We can find a third land. You're on turn 9. Yep. Got it. Got a whole bunch of life. What are you gonna do with it? Alright, so I'm definitely cracking one of these spell bombs here. I think I'm just spell bombing myself. Drawing into Veil of Summer. Alright. Annoying, but not the end of the world. It's around Veil of Summer. Hey, got lands. All right, now am I making any attack here? Let's say I swing everything. How bad are the blocks for me? Like, I feel like they're not bad. So if I go swing everything, they don't block. Don't block anything. They go to 16. I play Scourge. I fetch to... Or no, I'd fetch to 11. Deal 6. Put them to 13. Play Scourge as a 7/7. And then seal. They've got 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 power on board. I'd be at 11. They could Veil to redraw and then have another draw step. I think that's fine. I think I'm going to go for an attack. Maybe I'm only attacking with 2. I just kind of want to make Scourge bigger than an Exalted guy. There's no way you let me take out all of your Undying guys. No way. What on earth is this? I have one card in hand? What on earth could it be? Or do they think that, like, I can't target them with spell? No, they have Veil. I know that they have Veil. What? They think I, like, wasn't gonna spellbomb them because I spellbombed myself earlier? I'm so confused. Word of Calling off the top. What am I missing here? They can cord for 3, but they can't cord for a Yawmoth. Like, they literally just put 4 Undying guys in front of 2 Shadows. Every Undying guy. All Undying gentlemen they had access to. They're gonna cord for a, cord for a Grist. This doesn't target, does it? So do I want to just seal the Ignoble Hierarch so that they have to sack the Innkeeper? Yeah. They want to sack the Innkeeper to kill the Shadow. You got it. I'm going to play out double guys this turn. Play them on my turn so that they can't get a redraw off Veil of Summer. Why not bounce Shadow? Because if I bounce the Shadow, they don't have to sack anything. And so I would just be bouncing the Shadow for nothing. Draw Court of Calling, draw Yawmoth. Ooh. Why? Chris needs to target creature opponent controls. Doesn't it say you may sacrifice a creature when you do? So you can choose not to sacrifice a creature. Does target the shadow, you can still respond by bouncing. So do they have to sack and then target it? I thought they would put the ability on the stack and it doesn't resolve until they sacrifice a creature. And they don't sacrifice until the ability resolves. How many Yawmoths do they have left? One. We've gone through two chords. No, one of their 2 cards is Veil of Summer. If they've got a chord, they should chord in response to the Thought Thief. So that I don't just, like, mill over a Yawmoth. I think I'm not going to cast anything this turn. They've got Veil, and I don't really want to just give them a free redraw here. When I'm, like, pretty ahead on board. Yeah. See. If there's only one creature, and you kill it with Grist trigger on the stack, you fizzle the ability. Well, that's not what I was worried about. Let me pull up the card, and I'll talk about what my thought was.
But it's not a thing about
So,
accurate.
-2 puts the ability on the stack. You may sacrifice a creature. When you do, destroy target creature or planeswalker. So, Grist's second loyalty ability doesn't require a target. If you choose to sacrifice a creature as it resolves, the reflexive trigger ability triggers, and you'll choose a target creature or planeswalker to destroy. This will happen even if Grist isn't on the battlefield when the loyalty ability resolves. So is it 2 separate abilities that go on the stack? Like, is it a -2 put on the stack with Grist and you can respond to that? And then is there another trigger that goes on the stack after you sacrifice a creature? Because I assume this was all one priority. So if I didn't respond to the -2, then I wouldn't get a chance to. Because if they sacrifice a creature and then I get to bounce my shadow, that's great. But if, like, I should have done that, but I was under the assumption that they would put the -2 on the stack, and if they chose to sacrifice something, there wouldn't be a priority exchange. It would just kill the thing.
About making it feel right.
Do we have a judge ruling on this? How I remember, yes, it's like yes, there are 2 different triggers. I feel like this is pretty important to know if this card gets played. And it doesn't really specify here. It just says if you choose to sacrifice a creature as it resolves, the reflexive triggered ability triggers. So I'm guessing that means it puts another trigger on the stack. Here's the rules for reflexive triggered abilities. Triggered ability may read when, whenever, at blank, if blank, get some effect. When the trigger event occurs, the ability checks whether the stated condition is true. So it checks whether a creature has been sacrificed. If the ability triggers, it checks the stated condition again as it resolves. But there is a priority exchange there, right? Yeah, it sounds like it creates another exchange, but I don't know for sure.
You know, take a, if it's an accident, there's an
Electric
error,
Bob.
it feels good, then you leave it in. You know, you want those.
Rated Electric Bob a couple times. Ah, hands. All right, hands great. We're ditching what? I don't know what they're on. They haven't revealed Aluris. I kind of want to just ditch the Fatal Push. How greedy is that? Nah, I'm just gonna ditch Second Scourge. Push is a little too greedy. When it kept 7. Murktide deck. Ooh, Murktide's gonna be a problem. Let's take Channeler. Plan on Thieves Guild plus Fatal Push Ragavan. Merc Daddy does look a little rough. Kind of got a hope and a prayer to deal with it. It is Death Shadow Murktide. Touche, opponent. Touche. They can currently only make this Murktide a 4/4, which is kind of hilarious. 'Cause I can swing through that with Scourge. Now it's a 5/5, but Scourge is still bigger. Pretty funny. They exiled Lightning Bolt. I don't know if they're supposed to exile Lightning Bolt there. Chin and block. Thought Thief's not doing much else. Could just buy me an extra turn here. Do want to fetch to make sure that this Scourge is representing lethal. It'll push. Alright, we've got Luris play back a Thought Thief next turn, so we can make another chump blocker. Seal of Removal does it for us. A push or something for this Snapcaster, or if they got another Snapcaster, does it. Right? So they've got a bolt from the yard. It does mean that they are a little less likely to have a bolt from hand. That looks like they just have double bolt. Or they have a unholy heat. Yep. Alright. Needed to find removal. Didn't. Do I want Bitter Blossom here just to like stand in front of a Murktide for days? Doesn't seem like the worst. I think I want to keep in Thieves Guild and lose the Thought Thieves. Like keeping in the one that can get Death Touch, or do I want to just like lose all the Rogues package? Maybe I just want to lose it all. Like go kind of harder control. Ground's just like great against everything that's not exactly Murktide. Right. The flyers are good, but I think I just want to rely a little bit more on like on interacting with Murktide before it comes down. like focus on the counter spells and spell bombs and blah blah blah. Mulligan to 6. On 1. I like to find like a seal of removal. To find a seal. Let's just add Luris here because we can fight over a Murktide if he has like Thought Scour into turn. That seems really aggressive to blow up an EE on a Thieves Guild Enforcer. Like, I get the being mana efficient part of it, but I feel like you can probably wait for more. So, my best draw, I think, is Scourge here. All right. I mean, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. Got it. Iteration them expressives. Brutal coming in with the 4-month resub. Restub. Thank you so much. Alright, so Spell Bomb's a great draw here. Need to think about when I'm cracking this. Like, do I just want to go Spell Bomb, Shadow Seal? I feel like Spell Bombs. I want to play Seal, or do I want to just hold up Counterspell? Gonna hold up Counterspell. But when do I want to crack Spell Bomb? Value it now. Drinks Channeler, shuts off Murktide. If I wait until they attack, then they can just cast Murktide, and I don't get a priority opportunity. And I don't want that to happen. They want to fight over this channeler, we can fight. Can't fight, but I'm okay if they want to fight over that channeler. Alright. They're just gonna be able to get Delirium again? They are. Now the question is, do you want to crack this spell bomb on one token? Petty theft, my bitter boy. I feel like that was a lot of game actions to not really accomplish a ton. Like, I think they just spent like 4 cards to get in and attack for 3. Because the Brazen Borrower doesn't matter now. It's gone. It's not blocking Shadow. I've got Seal of Removal here. I've got Flusterstorm available. Have to block with, or have to attack with a channeler. Got it. Holy Heat, my Shadow. So if I go Flusterstorm, they have to tap 2. I could Seal of Removal the channeler. I'm at 8, Virtual 5 off the channeler. Fetch Shock, I go to Virtual 2. They haven't played a land yet. Gotta have Lightning Bolt. This is Snap Unholy Heat to try to kill the shadows. So we Flusterstorm the Unholy Heat. Snapcaster, or Seal the Snapcaster. Game 3. I want the extra drown, just like another piece of removal. Out Confidant, go like this. Rogues, let's go. We need it. We need this shot in the arm for Rogues. A deck long overlooked in Modern. All right. Kill a 1-drop. We've got Spell Bomb to try to take out a grave before Murktide comes down. That's such a good draw. Oh man, that's a good draw. Sit on Fatal Push in case they try to dash a Ragavan. It's really awkward to have Thought Scour with Channeler, because if you see something you want on top with Scour on your Channeler trigger, you just have to mill it over anyway. Alright. Am I just playing Scourge because they don't have Delirium? And if they tap out to play a Murktide, I just get to seal removal it? I think I like that. Well, not so much if they're drawing a Fatal Push. So probably just gonna have to like draw step, crack this spell bomb. I'll have to deal with the big Murktide. Bag of Van. That can be 8 damage next turn. Could let this Ragavan hit me and just risk it. Seems greedy. Alright. How about a third land here? A top deck a Murktide. Come on. Protect a Merc. Shocking doesn't really matter. A command Unholy Heat. A command Unholy. If they just draw 2 lands, we're winning the race, which is kind of funny. Because they attack with the Murktide here, we attack back with the Scourge. We get to play another Scourge. Okay. You've got my attention, deck. So I attack back, they block with Channeler. Then I play Scourge Seal. Ragavan. That too. I guess I can A command, get back Ragavan. I've got a Seal of Removal. They get a whitelisted draw until we get a whitelisted draw. A command like 2 to me, make me discard. Me return rack. Need them to brick this turn. Put a card on top. That's terrifying. So probably like an expressive iteration. Yep. All right. They kill us with like a bolt, right? Because they can dash Ragavan, attack all, bolt us. Bobble wouldn't kill us. Bobble would just put us to 1. Watery Grave to exile is a good sign. We have another... Okay. Dash Ragavan. Their last card's Lightning Bolt, and they've been slow rolling me. Be so mad. Ah, come on. Oh, man. Ah.
What is this place?
Slow roll me like that. Got electrocuted. Is that what we're calling it? Electrified.
What is this place?
This is the first or second league. This is the first. First league of the day. Re-1. Had a dream for half a minute there till Electric Bob wrecked our world. Terrible. Where's Mirabito when I need somebody to talk about, like, the woes of Magic Online just shipping you a 5-lander into a no-lander? Like, absolute commonplace. Rough hands indeed. But we do have games 2 and 3 if this one falls apart. Looks like another Affinity. So the bright side about Affinity is, like, Seal of Fire has done some work against construct tokens. Or not Seal of Fire, Seal of Removal. So if we get to that... Eh? No. Pretty good one. I feel like we had enough first Murky. Do we need more tech? He was dead if we hit the 3rd land, if we didn't hit the bolt. We didn't hit our seals a lot. I mean, we are only running like 2 seals, right? So we could run more. Maybe we need to add a couple like unconditional removal spells, like, I guess not go for the throat in the current meta, but something. I don't hate the idea of having an extra piece for Murktide, but at the same time, if we just have, what's it called? The new removal spell coming out next set, like a month. Draws are rough as well. Well, this deck doesn't have a lot of ways of filtering draws. Like, I'm kind of at the mercy of the top of my deck. Ornithopter. I'm glad to see they didn't make a construct, so I don't just have to, like, randomly use a spell bomb here. Yep. Metal Cyst. Like, Net'll get out of here. Right? Must be on Crater Hoof combo. What, is it like this guy that signifies that? This guy on top of Thought Monitor? Like, I know this guy's used in the Crater Hoof versions, but I didn't know if there's something that's like, oh yeah, this signals it. How much does this cost to equip? 2? Okay. You're correct that he's not showing green lands for Neo form. That one. Alright, so I'm going to offer to trade the Scourge for the Ornithopter. If he doesn't block, I just get a bigger Scourge. If he does block, then I can replay the Scourge from the yard next turn. Yeah, I don't know enough about the Affinity variants to, like, know what the giveaways of one or the other are. And we'll play the Catacombs here. So he can go like Spellbomb 1, untap Nettle Cyst, and like Spellbomb Shadow, untap Nettle Cyst, and force me to chump block with the Luris. Or he's just gonna draw. That's way better for me. He is up to 3 cards. That's a little terrifying. He's no longer at 3 cards. Springleaf makes colored mana. Yes. Springleaf does make colored mana. Large lad. Got a block here. Kill the Ornithopter. And see if our opponent decides to move this Nettle Cyst second main. Do not. Removal spell. I don't think. Have to play Seal, because if I don't, I'm just dead to the Ornithopter. Okay, opponent. Maybe opponent decides to something better. Yeah, it's not looking good here for sure. Like you said, we were on a mold of 5. So if I seal the companion, block and seal the Ornithopter. Like, I could block the Frogmite, seal the companion, take the Ornithopter, but ultimately that doesn't do a lot for me.
Will not venture into forgotten depths of the planet. But into the cathedral of myriad stars lit above it.
He's a good player, born 1995. Math checks out. And confirm.
Humanity will finally reach out from the deep well where it slumbered.
So, I didn't see thought monitors, but I'm like assuming they have them, right?
Suspended.
We know they have thought cast. We saw it. Yeah, Hero Marco, you gotta hit exclamation deck or exclamation deck list. For some reason, like, they didn't make only list a shortcut. Wanted to make it complicated. This hand's pretty bad. This is like basically a mold of 5 anyway. Better. Take a drown.
And touch. Tiny suspended in unyielding darkness.
Valuing my my scry there with the bauble more than getting Seal of Removal down turn 1. Turn 1 Shadow Spear. Wonder if I should be happy that they're like hitting all of their Urza targets right now instead of later. Do I want a shadow? Shadow's fine. So what do we think about splashing a color in this deck? Because, like, so far this league, splashing red for Unholy Heat would have been really good. Splashing... Splashing white for Artifact Enchantment Hate would be solid. Splashing red for, like, K-Command. All available options. Red or green or white or colorless. We could splash Thought Knot Seers in here. You know how many people would see that coming? Nobody. Purple, there's a good splash. It's like splashing the background of Shadow Sphere. So I can Thieves Guild Enforcer, mill to Drown in the Lock to hit up to a 4-drop, so we can hit like an Etch champion here, which is kind of like my biggest fear this turn. If they don't do anything, then I just get a free Thieves Guild in. Alright, so we're gonna get 4 mills. Get both of these active. Win this match, I'll kiss you. Seal down. Kind of like disincentivizes them from making a another construct here. Never mind, what do I know? Make that damn construct. You construct with the best of them. They don't call you good construct player 95 for nothing. How to fetch land. So EE can take out Shadow Spear. I think I'm just gonna play Scourge and pass second main. Yourself. Scourge plan becomes a bit more of a liability because just like a shadow spear on a thought monitor's pretty rough. There's so many affinity decks today. Holding up, make a construct. I'm willing to trade Scourge for 2 thought monitors. Think so. All right. Not looking great for the home team, as in we're just dead on board. Could have just made a construct and killed us. All right. Oh man, these affinity lists, when they see all of like their thought monitors and thought casts, pretty good. But we also did not come geared for affinity, and we saw it twice. If we think that this deck's on the big uprise, we can board in like a couple Hercules recalls. So what do we think of that league? Drown in the Lock was good, but we did see like Murktide, Affinity that all made Drown a little awkward. Seal of Removal was fantastic. Bouncing constructs, bouncing Murktides. We definitely have some like fluff in the deck we could trim on or cut. Things that are like just kind of there but not great. Like all those I think are kind of on the fence. In the sideboard, Flusterstorm was good. Mystical Dispute we didn't see when we wanted it. Didn't see any Void Mirror matchups. Spellbomb was phenomenal. EE was okay. Bitter Blossom was great. And Fatal Push was fine. So we'll see how the second league goes.